Hello, welcome back to AJM Learn. Today, this is an extension of a post and video I've done in the past. So customizing the Squarespace Auto List Carousel section, that's a mouthful. In the previous post and video, I focused more on like setting it up and the internal settings and gave you a couple little CSS snippets. But in this one, I want to dive more into CSS. So see the original post, that video is still there if you just want to know like how to set this up. If you're interested in the CSS, stay here. So I'm going to copy it all over directly from the post itself, and I'll walk you through. I'll just walk you through each step by step. So the first one that is in the post is adding a border. So first and foremost, actually, let me hop in. So you're adding your carousel section. I was actually demoing this for myself and was like, why is it not working? And I had it on list instead of carousel. So make sure it's in the carousel. And you also under style need to, if you want to change the background, make sure the card's on. It'll still work. It'll just look funky. So make sure the card's on. It'll look much better. Okay, so that's all you need to do to get it started, and I'll start dropping stuff in. So first is going to add a border. Cool. Obviously, every time I demo these, I just kind of use my brand colors, and it will start to look like kind of insane because it's just going to be a lot of like black and turquoise. But so first, add a border. You can obviously change the color. You can change the thickness of the border here, all of that. Here, I just added rounding the corners so you can, make this whatever number you want based on how you want the corners to be rounded. Next one on the list, changing the title color. You can, of course, do all of this in the site styles. I will tell you the main use case I have for this is I've started to change just one, and I'll show you how to do that. But I love to do that because I use this a lot for like services. So I could have like a whole list of services, and then like the very first one can be like, see all of our services with a button or the standout service or whatever and style it differently. But anyway, I'll show you this first. Okay. Next, to change the description color, I have a note in here. Like any other, CSS, like here we're targeting some text, so you can always change anything else about it. So you could change like the font size to whatever. Is that like the font size, or do we need okay. A lot of times you, of course, like try the important tag if something doesn't work. Usually that'll override it. With this one, we're using a ton of important tags. Since there's already these like built-in site styles, we kind of have to override what's already happening. Okay, so this one's really specific, but I've used it in the past. This is just changing the color of a bold description. I actually didn't put one in, but if you had bolded something within the description, so let's say we like didn't want to change the description color itself, but we just want to change the bold color. So let me just do this really quick. So, oops, that's not what I want. So let's say Monet, like this part is really, or here, how about this? Like she's the founder. Cool. Okay, so it kind of gives you almost like a subheading, which is nice. So yeah, you can bold, change the bold color, which is kind of a cool thing because again, it kind of gives you, I don't know, like a subheading. All right, next, changing the background color. This is the fun one. Obviously, this looks okay. So, for example, here, I would actually need to come in and change the description color, the regular description color. Okay, cool. And last but not least, the button colors. So, button colors, bam, okay. So I did, this yellow with black. Again, you have like, you can add anything. You can change the font color. You could add a border around it, all that kind of thing. But here's the basics. So, okay, this is cool. You really could have done all of this within your site styles. So the real use case that I like to do is actually adding this piece. So basically telling it which one you want it to target. And this will go after list item. So you're going to add, I'm just copying it over. It's easier. The colon, the nth child, and then you're choosing which one. I don't have 4, so let me do 1. So I'm going to add this really quickly to all of these. It would go on anything you want to only apply to the first one. Oh, that one I need to add. I'm going to have to edit a couple here, but let me get a good start going. Okay, there we go. And then these ones, let's see, title color. So where am I going to add this? I added it here. Title color. I'm pausing while I'm thinking. I realize I didn't change the name there. Okay, so what I need to do, I think, is add this full bit here. Boop. Yep. So on these, you would need to add that in. So you just saw some live troubleshooting, just had to add that little piece in to separate. I don't know why. The one thing, let's refresh. Sometimes you just like need, CSS needs a little refresh. There we go. So a couple things weren't taking, but always refresh the page and that will do the trick. Okay, so bam, yeah, that's all in there. And then now it's only applying to the first one. So I like to do this to make one stand out. It's just, yeah, it's just kind of nice to make a certain service stand out. It is important to note that it does only apply. So, for example, what is this called? When we have the infinite scroll, it only applies to the first one because it's repeating 3 over and over. I only have 3 things in here, and it will still only apply to the first one. So I would probably turn off infinite scroll if you wanted to use this. But just a side note, because it's not going to keep making that same one applied over and over if you do have infinite scroll. So that's kind of one downside. Anyway, super cool way to make something stand out, and hope you enjoy.